Do you use direct mail in your marketing, or are you like so many of my clients who swear up and down that direct mail just doesn't work? You know, we always discover that the naysayers, mostly they just sent out lousy mailers and then they quit and they say, well, I guess it doesn't work. And then meanwhile, another company in the same market mails week after week after week after week, and guess what? They crush it. The difference isn't the postcard or the mailer, it's the persistence. I know a lot of you hear direct mail and you might be thinking, geez, man, does anybody even do that anymore? I mean, do people even read direct mail? And are there companies that are actually sending that stuff out? And the answer is, yeah, there are companies sending that out, and it's because it still works. I mean, snail mail is what a lot of people like to call it. It kind of gets short shrift, but you really shouldn't be looking at it that way because direct mail has some very distinct advantages over other kinds of marketing, and you need to at least consider it. First of all, it allows you to pinpoint target your prospects. There's very few things that are as good at targeting as direct mail. And second, it gives you a good chance to tell your story in a visual way using words and pictures. So that's something to think about. There's also some downsides to direct mail though, and the first one, probably obvious, is that it can be very expensive, especially if you look at it on a CPM basis. That's cost per thousand, CPM. So for instance, if you send a piece of mail and it costs, let's say 50 cents each, that's probably on the low end, that's a $500 CPM. I mean, compared to Facebook, which is going for, I don't know, anywhere from 25, 30, sometimes $30, something like that, 35 maybe. TV and radio, we can get that down around 5 to 12. OTT, more like 22 to 30. So $500, okay, regardless if it's 5, 15, 20, $30, 500 is a lot more. I mean, literally, it's potentially 100 times more to send a piece of mail than it would be to be on the radio or TV or something like that. But then again, the targeting issues and the circumstances surrounding it, it changes the equation. The calculus is a little bit different. So here's what I'm going to do today. I want to give you some ideas, 5 different ideas, 5 ways, if you will, of how you can use direct mail in your marketing effectively. Some of these ways you're probably aware of, but I just want to poke you and make you think about it a little bit, and maybe some are a little bit less familiar. My name is Rich Harshaw. I'm the CEO of Level 10 Contractor. I turn remodeling contractors into lead generating machines. I use websites, SEO, pay-per-click, social media, paid and organic, OTT, CTV, direct mail, whatever you can think of, I help my clients use it. Okay, so let's get into the direct mail conversation. And when you think of direct mail, I want you to think in terms of what I call wall drugging. If you're not familiar with wall drugging, here's what it is. So wall drug is I don't know exactly what it is. It's a tourist trap. It's a gas station. It's overgrown with all kinds of weird, cool, awesome, unusual things to see and do. It's at this massive place in the middle of South Dakota. It's literally in a place called Wall, South Dakota, hence wall drug. And here's the point that I really want to make with this. When you drive to Wall, South Dakota on Interstate 90, they've got hundreds, literally hundreds of billboards for this place called Wall Drug. And it's pretty effective. The billboards say things like, eat at Wall Drug, see the 80-foot dinosaur, Wall Drug, hear the cowboy orchestra, Wall Drug, free ice water, all these different billboards, silver dollar display, Wall Drug, and 100 others, wacky cool stuff. It whips by you as you're driving through the South Dakota Badlands at, 90 miles an hour. They go quick. There's a ton of them. Wall Drug, Wall Drug, Wall Drug, Wall Drug. And if you need to stop for gas anyway, why not stop at the place that you've been hearing about for 100 miles? Last time I checked, something like 70% of all the cars that pass by Wall Drug actually stop there because of the influence of all these billboards. They've tapped the power of frequency and repetition. Okay, so what I'm trying to say in regards to direct mail is that sending out a single piece of direct mail, probably not in your best interest, probably not going to work. A better bet is going to be to send out multiple pieces. I'm going to tell you specifically what I mean when I get into some of these individual components. So let's start with number 1. The first way to use direct mail in your marketing is to connect with your past customers. Yeah, you should be reaching out to your past customers with direct mail at least 4 times a year. Now, if you're a roofing company and the only thing that you sell is roofing and you just put a new roof on somebody's house, okay, maybe you don't want to do this because you might not. They might not need another roof, okay? But if you're any other kind of contractor, any kind of company that has other kinds of things that you can sell your past customers, or they can buy additional units of whatever it is that you sold them last time, like let's say windows or siding or something like that. If they bought an air conditioner, maybe they've got other units they can also replace. Whatever the case is, you need to be mailing your customers 4 times per year, at least. That's a minimum. If you mailed your customers monthly, I wouldn't be opposed to that. And like I said, you can cross-sell your other products that you have. You can ask for referrals. If you've got new products, you can let people know what those things are. Your first and highest priority should be, from a direct mail standpoint, it should be your past customers. Now, I've talked about this guy before. His name's Justin Bartley from Next Door and Window in Chicago. He's an example of how well direct mail to past customers work. Last time I spoke to him, and it's been a minute, but he was doing $20 million in sales, north of $20 million. He's probably a lot more than that by now, knowing Justin. He's probably $50 million for all I know. But the guy's got a great company. half of his revenue at that time, $20 million, let's say, 10 million out of the 20 million was from past customers and referrals. And it was because he had an extremely robust process of contacting these people using direct mail. So look into it. Get on board with this. Do it. Now let's go to number 2. This is number 2 out of the 5 ways to use direct mail in your marketing. It's what's called radius marketing. Some people call it proximity marketing. This is where you send out mailers to the neighbors of the customers that you just did business with. You go in, you put windows on a house, and then you send mailers to 10 or 20, 40, 50, 100 homes that are in the general vicinity of that customer. I recommend in this case sending at least 5 mailers, okay? 5. Put them in a series, send them out, okay? The series needs to be sent out probably weekly for 5 weeks. That'd be a good cadence. You could send out 3 postcards, and then maybe you want to send out a check mailer, and then maybe a testimonial letter from the person in the neighborhood who had the job done with you. So let me explain a little more detail about this. So obviously postcard mailers, that's pretty easy to understand. Typically, I like to send out they're 6 by 11 inch postcards. They're large. They make it easy for you to communicate a message. People look at them. They look great. They have a headline that has a message that makes people notice. Then the next thing you can do is the check mailer. A check mailer looks like it's a check through, those window envelopes. You've seen those before. You send it after the 3 postcards, after your foundation from those 3 postcards, okay? And then when they see this check mailer, they're going to rip it open to see what it is exactly. If you send the check mailer cold without the postcard warm-up, you're only going to get a tiny fraction of those openings, okay? I don't know precisely how much, something you can test, okay? Then the last thing is the testimonial letter that comes from your customers. And here's what I don't mean. I don't mean that your customer sits down and writes a letter to all their neighbors. That would be dumb. I mean, that would be asking a lot. What I mean is that you get with your customer and you have them write a letter. Or more likely, you write a letter based on their words. Interview the customer and then write up the interview and say, hey, is this something that you're okay sending out to your neighbors? Look, people don't want to sit down and actually freaking write a letter. They're going to look at the one you wrote. They're going to say, yeah, go ahead, send it out. And then you send it out on their behalf. You put it in a regular number 10 envelope, just a regular white envelope with a regular stamp on it with the return address of your customer on it. Why? Well, because it needs to be local. Like, hey, I live here in this same neighborhood or on this same street as you. Okay. I used to live on a street called Whispering Oaks. Okay. That was one of the addresses that I lived in. It was a town called DeSoto. It's been years since I lived there, but Whispering Oaks. And if I got an envelope that was a return address from a neighboring street, okay, from Whispering Oaks or one that was 1 or 2 streets over, I'd know the street. That's the entire point. Okay. Not trying to get weird here, but that's what you want to do. Maybe you want to send the testimonial letter before the check mailer. Maybe the check mailer can be the grand finale. But here's what the real grand finale is going to be. You're going to send in a sales guy to do what I call micro canvassing. Yeah, micro canvassing. It's where you have one guy, not a whole team of guys, just one guy. He goes out and he knocks the doors of the people that you've been mailing to. And here's how I would do it. Anytime you knock on the door, here's my recommendation. Use the big bill. Remember the big bill? I talked about it on a recent video. What is the big bill? It's a 17-inch wide, 7.3-inch tall, oversized $100 bill that stops people dead in their tracks. I say $100 bill, but you can actually make it in whatever denomination you want based on your discount or offer you have using Photoshop, okay? So if you're having $1,000 off windows, then your big bill is going to be $1,000. If it's an $88 HVAC club membership, then the bill is going to be $88. Maybe that would be for a tune-up, whatever, okay? You get it? Nothing breaks the ice like gigantic money. It allows people to say, hey, geez, crap, what's this thing all about? They take it from you without even thinking. You extend it to them. I've done the whole video on this, so go check that one out. And if our micro canvasser is going out, as in this case, following the proximity campaign, then he can whip out all the pieces that you've sent, the direct mail. Remember, you just fan them out, staple them so that they're just perma-fanned, I guess. What was it? 3 postcards and the check mailer and the testimonial letter. And then, your guy knocks on the door and he's standing there holding the big bill. And then also he whips out this big fan of mailers and he says, hey, we sent these out to you. Did you see them? We're the company that's been doing work over here on, Whispering Oaks at the Harshaw's home. Do you know them? Have you seen these postcards? Okay. Do you get how that works? This is expert door knocking. Okay. That's proximity marketing. Use the big bill, use the postcards, use the testimonial letter, use the check mailer. I've seen it 100 times, probably more, where a company will send out 1 or 2 postcards, nothing happens, and then they say, hey, this is stupid, this sucks, it doesn't work. You've got to work harder than that. Look, it's hard to be successful in life. It's hard to be successful in business, in relationships, in anything. So you're going to have to work it. You're going to have to put in the hard work, okay? But if you do this, here's what'll happen. It'll work. All right. Have you tried direct mail in your business before? If so, what kind of results did you get? Drop a comment below. Let me know. I'd love to hear about your experience with direct marketing, direct mail. Okay, let's go to number 3 now about how to use direct mail. It's what I call the neighborhood blitz. What you're going to do is identify areas that have definitive specific needs. It could be geographic, like homes in a certain neighborhood, or hail damage areas, or based on the age of the home, like HVAC companies do. I had a client going all the way back, I think it was like 2008 or 9, something like that. It was a long time ago. They were in Savannah, Georgia, and there was a community down there called Sun City, which it was a retirement community. It had something like, I think it was 5,500 homes in it at the time. Guess what? This was fertile ground for selling, sunrooms. And man, we would just blanket the crap out of the neighborhood all the time with direct mail. Very, very, very pinpointed and very effective. Roofing companies make bank by targeting hail damaged areas. Window companies can target neighborhoods that were built, let's say 30 years ago by a specific production builder, because those original, whatever it was, 1980s, 1990s, whatever, windows, they sucked. Everybody knows it. They've got terrible windows. You've got better windows now and you can save these people money. So boom, you send in the mailers directly into that specific neighborhood. Now, you can also support this with OTT. You can support this with Facebook advertising. And now, boom, you're hitting them in their mailbox. It's beating them over the head with a club, okay? That's what we want to do. HVAC companies should be mailing based on the home age, all right? So if a home is more than 12 years old, then you start sending the mailers. Hey, it's time to get your air conditioning unit looked at or tuned up or fixed or replaced or whatever the case is, okay? So the key with this is to find a neighborhood or some specific group that's worth it to you and then just continue to blitz the crap out of them. It's pretty simple. You can send them check mailers. You can send them postcards. You can send them personal letters. Mix it up. But here's what you need to do. Don't assume that if you go in there and you drop one mailer, that you've cracked the code, you've cracked this marketing code and it's going to work. And if it doesn't work, then hey, this sucks. It doesn't work and you shouldn't do mailers anymore. You have to think of wall drug. You have to implement the principle of frequency and consistency. Okay, so that's number 3. Let's go on to number 4, new movers. Okay, the data on new movers is clear. They spend money to customize their homes. It just makes sense, right? There's a lot of money that's spent in the first 2, maybe 3 years after somebody moves into a home, particularly if you can get there during that, first 2 to 6 months. You're going to have a shot at getting whatever business they're trying to do. You can find a list of new movers from any reputable list companies. Just go online, just Google it, okay? There's a ton of list companies. They're easy to find. They're out there, and they're going to sell you these lists of these new movers. I've actually had a lot of success targeting new movers. It's not really something that we do a lot now with our clients because it's just not what we do. We're more in the digital space. But look, here's what I need you to know about this mailers. Getting it set up, it's going to be a pain in the butt. It's going to be hard to do. It's going to require somebody to manage it. But look, like I said a minute ago, it's going to take time and effort and some money to try this stuff. Get somebody that can manage this for you from your office and then go for it. See what happens, okay? Like I said, you can purchase the list from the company and then I would use the exact same strategy that we went over a minute ago when I talked about radius/proximity marketing, okay? Remember, I was talking about 3 postcards, then a check mailer, then a testimonial letter. The only difference is in this case, they don't necessarily know anybody that would be sending them this testimonial letter. But look, send them multiple pieces. That's the whole point, right? And then follow up with the micro canvasser. And look, there's software, there's a tech stack that you can use to manage that. I'm not going to go into that now, but look at Lead Scout. That's something that you can take advantage of. Okay, now this is going to be a little bit harder, this micro canvassing, because unlike the neighborhood mailers, they're not all going to just be right there, compact, right next to your customer's home, 20, 40, 50 houses around your customer, whatever. If you're micro canvassing new movers, you're going to have to be driving all over town. But I'm telling you, again, don't dismiss this out of hand just because it's hard. Look at it and say to yourself, because it's hard, guess what? Nobody else is going to do it. Nobody. And it's a real opportunity. It's a real way to separate your marketing efforts from your competitors. Take some time, take some effort, try some stuff. Now, before we get to number 5, if you're enjoying this content, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any future podcasts. Make sure that you also click the bell and then you'll be notified when the next video comes out. And hey, guess what? You can also listen to me every day on the Level 10 Contractor Daily Podcast. If you like audio, you can find that on Apple, Spotify, or any kind of podcasting platform that you might happen to use. All right, let's go to the last way to use direct mail in your marketing, which is every door direct mail, EDDM. Now, this is a program that was introduced, I think it was about 2011, so it's been a minute. It's a regulation with the United States Postal Service that allows you to mail things for cheap, but there's a couple of catches, of course, and the catches are very, very actually easy to deal with, okay? So first of all, let me tell you how cheap it is. I think it's like a quarter, all right? Look it up. I haven't looked it up in a minute. I don't do a lot of direct mail for my clients, but I know companies that do. My clients do it. I just don't manage it for them, but I think it's about a quarter to do every door direct mail. And it doesn't matter how big your postcard is. You can send, the little teeny tiny kind, like 3x5 or something, the kind that like my grandma used to send me when she was on vacation. That was back in the 70s anyway, in a minute. It's also, you can go all the way up to the biggest size, which I think is 12 by 15. Now, I talked earlier about a 6 by, what did I talk about? 11 by 6 6 postcards, yeah. But with these, you can go all the way up to 12 by 15. That's a freaking massive postcard. Now, my strategy has always been the bigger the better. So if you have a choice to choose the small version of something or the big version of something, like a 15-second TV ad versus 30-second, or a 60-second radio ad versus a 30-second, I always want the bigger one. Newspaper, I want the big one. Print mail, you print mailers, I want the biggest thing you can get. And I'm going to send it out for what is like a quarter a piece. Then it's going to cost a little bit more to print those things up because it takes more paper. That's obvious. But 12 by 15, holy crap, that is massive. It is awesome. You can also make a 15-inch version of the big bill and mail big bills to people. Now, here's what one of the other catches is with every door direct mail, EDDM, okay? You have to mail the entire carrier route. And you say, well, what's a carrier route? A carrier route is usually going to be one side of a street, okay? So the other side of the street, the houses on that side are going to be a different carrier route. But this allows them, the U.S. Postal Service, it allows them to take mailers, instead of having to sort them, into piles with specific addresses, they just give the mail carrier this big stack of these EDDMs, and he knows that on these various routes, you just put one in everybody's mailbox. So they don't have to be pre-sorted. That's why they're giving you this massive discount. So use the biggest postcard. Send a 15-inch big bill. Just don't forget, repetition matters no matter what, even if it's EDDM, even if you're using a giant 15-inch postcard. Don't think that you're going to just send one mailer, shoot it into people's mailboxes, and they're going to go, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and start buying stuff from you. You need to understand the principle of wall drug. Wall drug shows that frequency and consistency are what moves the needle. Obviously, the message makes a difference, but the frequency and the consistency is really, really important. Okay, so that's it. That's 5 ways for you to use direct mail: past customers, radius mailers, that's 2, I guess, neighborhood blitzes, new movers, and every door direct mail. Just look into it. If you're serious about driving 200 to 500 leads a month like a level 10 contractor, then you're going to have to spend a little bit of time and effort. Until next time, happy mailing. Let's see how it works. Let me know.